Hi again, my name is Aisha Jusino Camp, and I am married to an El Paso hero, Sergeant Chris Camp. As you know, since March 2024, the Chief of Police, Pete Pasillas, has been persecuting my family on a costly witch hunt over my husband who saved a life. The saga of this story continues. As we predicted, my husband was informed by Human Resources that he has now been excluded from being promoted to the rank of lieutenant. I call it demotion of promotion from lieutenant. Once again, the El Paso Police Department has shown its true ugly colors and has attacked my family in the scope of a promotion. But wait, it gets even better. Minnie Holguin sent out a weak email informing my husband of the Rule of Five. There was no due process awarded to my husband to inform him of any discussions, talks, or debates in regard to this promotion. Minnie Holguin, why wasn't there any form of communication between my husband and Human Resources? Why didn't you make any attempt to email my husband about these concerns that my husband's promotion was going to be voted upon? Why didn't you contact my cell phone, which you all have? Why wasn't my husband included in this Rule of Five to defend himself, as this concerns his future and his career? Why isn't there any transparency related to this Rule of Five? Can you give me the transactions, recordings, and the members of the Rule of Five who discussed this decision? How convenient of this department to hold secret meetings behind closed doors, ignoring their own transparency rules, both as a police department and a city entity, to discuss how much they can retaliate against my husband. Oh, and the best news yet. Assistant Chief Julie Inciriaga is the chief who overlooks Human Resources. Isn't that just dandy? Imagine a woman who has had deep resentment against my husband for many years, for God knows only why, decided to demote my husband because he would be one of those lieutenants who dared to care about his shift, officers, and speak up against wrongdoings. You all know that this is wrong. You all know that this is singling out my husband. You all know that this is retaliation at its truest form that's being directed by Chief Pete Pasillas. Believe me when I tell you this is not misinformation. All the details that I expose and talk about are happening in real time to my husband and my family, and I will not stop on this until this high level of corruption ends. I can honestly state that if Chief Allen were here, may he rest in peace, this witch hunt against my husband wouldn't exist. Chief Allen would have ended this within a day by demonstrating his leadership most effectively. Chief Allen would never have subjected my husband to any of this. He would have seen him through this bullshit and not relied purely on one-sided false narratives. Chief Pasillas, the truth is coming out for the public to see. What you have done to my husband and my family is criminal, it's unjust, and it's illegal. You single-handedly created this whole scenario. You could have put your foot down and used your authority, or what's left of it, to stop this from continuing professionally, but you refused to do so. This is done strictly out of revenge, all because my husband saved a man's life and spoke up against a Lieutenant Frank Rodriguez. This time, effort, and money spent on my husband for being a hero should have been directed toward prosecuting a coward who failed to save a life, but you go after my husband for saving a life. You promote the criminals who tarnish the badge, but you demote and exclude people who hold themselves to a higher standard to root out evil? Chief Pasillas, no wonder they call you the Joe Biden of EPPD. You are completely out of touch with law enforcement. Stay tuned for more of the El Paso Police Department retaliating against my husband and my family. Brought to you by the incompetent teams of Chief Pete Pasillas, Assistant Chief Julian Siriaga, Lieutenant Frank Rodriguez, Lieutenant Juan Briones, Commander Ignacio Hernandez, Minnie Holguin, Sergeant Robert Gomez, Internal Affairs, Detectives Hinojos and Detective Ontiveros, and lastly, Sergeant Mike Chavez, who still has our hard drive and refuses to give it back. Even the dead cannot get any peace, as the department desecrated my father's ashes. What more needs to be done before this ends? Camp, Cops Against Malicious Power. And I'd also like to showcase this beautiful throw that Chief Allen gifted my husband, because he knew that my husband was a great leader.